All right, Shalom. This is Hara One by Nyasha Allah of the Lions Den Camp, located right here in Jacksonville, Florida. Before I begin, I want to say Kal Halayim La Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Ha Rakah Kodash Ma'amaf. Double honor to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Shalom to you, Akim, Nakwati, and children that believe in sincerity and truth around the four corners of the earth. All right, this lesson is going to be on a picture that I had in my photo gallery for a little while now, for about 2 months. All right, as we've been seeing more of the prophecies kicking up around the world, and a lot of prophecies that are happening to this place called America, also known as Babylon. All right, the loss of all its allies, resource extensions from these allies like Europe, NATO, the EU. All right, allies with the BRICS nations: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, and many other nations that are joining and pushing to join the BRICS conglomerate and pull away from this American oppression through sanctions of the dollar. All right. So I want to read this from this picture that this guy is holding up. It says, "This is the USA." All right. Now, before what they call the Roaring 20s, 1920s, around 1980, 1990s, it was a proud statement to say this is the USA. You know what I mean? They were living in their pride, being exalted, thriving in the world, entertainment, had all kind of allies. You would see Putin. There's still a video out there of Putin and George Bush Jr. Dancing around with some women at some heel toe type of event. Why? Because they was all buddy. All right. Who was that? Gorbachev in the past? I forgot the guy that had a stain on his forehead when I was a little young guy. I was young, and I think his name was Gorbachev, and maybe that was Reagan around that time in the 80s. All right. So now today, America is standing alone with its small allies like Israel, especially with this incident over there in Palestine. It's losing even more support, all right, from countries like Egypt, Lebanon, Jordan, all these Middle Eastern countries, Iran, OPEC nations. Nobody's going to be willing nor able to help America when all hell breaks loose. Nobody's going to be able to help or stop the collapse from happening. They've tried many times to stall it and claim to be slowing it down by QE1, QE2, QE3, QE to infinity, raising and lowering the interest rates, which truthfully is the bite with the snake's poison in it. All those stimuluses, right? And the interest rates being lowered or raised to slow down spending here in America by the Feds or the Federal Reserve, or the Chairman Powell. So these things are playing a part in the downfall of America. All right, by the raising the interest rates later on, it slows spending. Um, Slowing the spending down ultimately puts pressure on the lower class and ultimately destroys the middle class and small businesses. So, all right, so this place is being plucked apart from every side. It's all the will and prophecy of Yahweh, our Father, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, the Messiah. So it says, "This is the USA, and there is no one coming to our rescue if things go sideways," right? Because America will always be the one that goes to bail out another country or give support to another country. America's prints its own dollar, right? So they can give aid or financial aid. That's why you see them trying to give money to Ukraine, billions of dollars to Palestine, billions of dollars to Israel, right? So, and by doing so, they would gain a foothold or more control over those nations. Sending over FEMA or military aid, and then next thing you know, they've conquered that area, taking over places like that. All right, so things are going definitely not even sideways, things are going south for America. And no one will be resupplying us. All right? So who can resupply Palestine? Who can resupply Israel right now? These major countries. But all the world's major companies and corporations, they're pulling away from America. So now the only allies America really has is Europe. And even Europe, we know Europe is the home of the Illuminati and the globalists. And we know that allegedly their agenda is to see America destroyed. The first world order, dealing with the dollar, and America being the dominant, or the hegemony, having the hegemony over the world. Now they want to do away with that and bring in a new currency. But so the dollar's in the way. The Constitution is in the way because people have too many rights here. So they want to take away that. They want to take away your privacy and they want to gain more control. So by doing so, they do away with America, let China lead the way in this digital realm, give America special drawing rights, SDR rights, so they can move to a digital currency in the basket of currencies and keep the digital dollar. But the digital dollar will hold no weight compared to the Chinese, I think of what they got, the yuan, which is backed by gold and silver and oil. All right, so no one will be able or willing to help America when it ultimately meets its demise. All right, nobody will be able to pay off Russia. It says, the scriptures say they shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. There's no way you can pay them off. No nation that can pay them to stop when they begin to destroy this place. The debt, how long shall he increase in that which is not his? That laden himself with thick clay, that debt is through the roof right now. 44 trillion, I think it is. So it's shooting up. And nobody's gonna be able to pay that off. Only thing they can do is what? Default. A default is when they admit that they cannot pay it back. And that gives the other countries the green light to say, okay then, well, we're taking this land, we're taking this building, we're taking Wall Street, we're taking this, we're going to invade your country, we're dumping dollars, whatever. And while everybody's distracted by the division over there in Palestine and Israel, you still have a looming dollar crash and economic collapse at the doorsteps of America. And no one, as you can see in the world, powers will be able to or be willing to help America, stay afloat. No one will be resupplying us. No one will airdrop food, ammunition, medicine. There is no place to escape to for freedom. This is it. That's right, man. The scripture say that. Let me get this. This is Nahum chapter 2, verse 8. All right, we know America is today spiritually Nineveh. All right, so you can read the scriptures in Nahum about Nineveh, which fell in 612 BC, and the downfall of it, the beginning of it, the process of it, and the ultimate demise of Nineveh. And you'll see it relates to the wickedness, the idolatry, the pride, delusion, and ultimately the demise of it relates to the demise of this place, which is also spiritually called Babylon, which we know today as America. So this is Nahum chapter 2, verse 8. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water. All right, so you picture a pool of water that, let's get that real quick, hold on. That's right, this is Revelations 17:1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, and I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters. All right, so the many waters, like the pool of water, ruling over these nations. All right, so that's talking about what? America. That's written of in the scriptures, Revelations, in the last days. So Nineveh or America is like that pool filled with water, full of people. But imagine that pool start leaking. And imagine the people start pulling away from this country. All right? Like Saudi Arabia, the BRICS nations. They're all leaving. All right, so it says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication. So they was all in business with this place. They was all tied to America and supporting it. Buying the American dollar. Being at peace with America because of its deterrence with missiles and sanctions. But now they're not worrying about that no more. The scriptures say, let the weak say I am strong. All right. So they've all been in bed with America. And the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication, man. With their philosophies, with the dollar and this dollar system, with their democracy, with their Christianity, the whole mindset of Wall Street. All right, so they've been made drunken through the business and traffic of America. But now they've all pulled away and are preparing to even dump the dollars, man. They're dumping dollars like every week now. These countries like China, Iran, Russia. They even having a meeting, I think yesterday, China and Russia, No, somebody arrived in Iran. Maybe it was Russia, where they're talking about dumping the dollars as well. All right. So let's get this real quick. So the whore that sitteth upon many waters. All right, America's that whore because it's built on idolatry. It's the mother of harlots, and the pimp is the or the whoremonger is the globalist over there in Europe, the European Union, which originally was called the Roman Empire. All right, so Nahum 2:8, but Nineveh is of old like a pool of water. See that? Gathered many people to itself, heapeth unto himself all people, and gathereth all nations. That's Habakkuk chapter 2. So it says here, but Nineveh is of old like a pool of water, yet they shall flee away. So imagine that pool just having holes in it and the water pouring out and leaving, that basin or that pool. The same way people are going to be flooding out of this place, and they're leaving America. They're leaving the allegiance of America. Stand, stand, shall they cry, but none shall look back. So nobody's going to be willing to help this place. All right, seeing the downfall. If anything, the scriptures say the Lord going to raise up fanners that shall fan her, and ultimately scatter this place and empty her land. So they're gonna fan the fire. All right. Take ye the spoil of silver, take the spoil of gold, for there is none end of the store, and glory out of all the pleasant furniture. Okay, so all the riches and the wealth that was in this place is being taken away. All right, the scriptures say that sit down in the dust, O daughter, virgin daughter of Babylon. There is no throne. All right, made into a third world country. All right. It says she is empty and void, right? It says suddenly shall the storehouses appear empty. Where are they gonna get the resources from? In the shipments. There's gonna be war going on everywhere. And the nation's gonna take care of themselves. Look at who was that? India? They pulled back on the rice exports, which majority of the rice exports comes to America. Look at Saudi Arabia. They slowed down the production of oil. All right. So this place is being made empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all loins, and the faces of them all gather blackness. This is Isaiah 13 and 17. All right. There you go. That's right, because they can't stop the Lord's wrath. All right. Isaiah 13. Let's start from 17. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. So today, as far as the land demographics, Russia is in the place where the Medes would be. So that represents Russia. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. So Russia's being stirred up. That bear has been awoken, which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. So they ain't gonna be able to be paid off from any nation. They're gonna be out for blood. Their bows also shall dash the young men to pieces, and they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children, right? Just like they're not sparing children over there in Palestine. And, just killing babies left and right like it's nothing. And they saying it's happening to the Israelis, but it's on both sides, and it's majority of it's been happening to the Palestinians. So Russia's seeing this, man. In war, they're not going to have any regard. They're going to shoot missiles. All right, so instead of helping this place, they're going to help to destroy it. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. See, America was the glory of Europe, the glory of these other nations. They were all drunken with the wine of a fornication, business. So, all right, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms. See, he's prideful. It's being brought down low into destruction, into a hellish situation. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, just like ancient Chaldea. All right, it was known as the light of Chaldea. So America is that same beacon of America, more than South America. North America is. That would have said I would go and sit in the sides of the north. So who helped establish this place? Europe did, the Europeans. They helped to establish the Western Europeans over here in America. All right, so in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency. See, this is their handiwork. This is their craft. The Chaldees represents those elite globalists or bankers, the Jesuits, over there in Europe that are running things from there. This was their handiwork, building this place, America. Shall be as when Yahweh overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So this place gonna be a desert soon. And it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall Arabian pitch tent there. Neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So no nation's going to ever pass through here again once it gets destroyed. They're not going to be establishing businesses over here. They're not going to be able to send help or aid or to rebuild the foundations. Oh, this is the desert land to go rebuild on. Nope. This place is going to be a radiation dump. All right, and a cursed place. And nobody's going to help it. This is Revelation 17:6. And I saw, I'm starting from 5. All right, this goes into what? The whore sitting upon many waters again. Being helped by all the nations. All right. That's right. Let's get, that's right, man. Let's go right here. Verse 5. No, verse 4. And the woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet. That goes in the red, representing the West, which will be the dragon, the beast system. The beast. Which goes into the European Union, NATO, and America. And decked with gold, and so it was decorated with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a golden cup in her hand full of abominations and filthiness of her fornication. So full of their philosophies and lies to deceive the world. All right. So this place has been created. All right, it's operating under de facto. So And it says, and upon her forehead was a name written, mystery. So it's a mystery that this is Babylon, but in the end, everybody gonna see it. That this is the Babylon of the scriptures, the place of the Lord's judgment. Babylon the Great. So it's great in what? Wickedness. Great in wealth and power in the world, and resources to protect itself, and great in help and allies. The mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. So all the chaos and abominations you see going around the world today, it ultimately stems from America, and the hidden hand that's up America's ass like a puppet, goes all the way back to Europe. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints. All right. So this place has been, drenched in the blood of the Israelites, which made money off of our deaths. All right, even through funeral homes, even through funerals, even through churches, even through the cremations of the bodies, even through the hospital taxes, they made money off of the deaths of our people. Even selling us in slavery. So full of the blood of martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. So John the Revelator, he saw America in a vision, and he was like, wow, look at that place. Look at the pride of it. Look at the rulership, the dominance of it, the riches and wealth that flow through it. That place gonna be destroyed. All right. He saw the pinnacle of Esau's rulership, and then he saw his downfall. This is Isaiah 14:3. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow. And sorrow is another word for hell. So the Lord is going to give the elect of Israel rest from our sorrow here in this place, man. From being slaughtered and killed all the day long. Being used for sweat equity. And the proverb of their reproach, of their blame. All right. And the word proverb just means a word put forth. And they call us, criminals. Now they moved into the realm of labeling our people as terrorists. Isaiah 14:3, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow and from thy fear and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Man, we were made to serve. Slavery here, not a vacation. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers, man. So the Lord is breaking this place down. All right, breaking their power in the earth. And the rulers are those globalist elite in Europe. It says here, he who smote the people in wrath, right? Because America was the hammer of the earth. All right, and it's being broken to pieces. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger, is persecuted and none hindereth, man. All right, so this place is going to be persecuted by these other nations, and nobody's going to help this place. It's going to be persecuted and destroyed, and nobody's going to help. No other nation is going to be able or willing to help this place, America. All right. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. So, verse 9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee. So all these nations are being stirred up. We just read that the Lord is stirring up the Medes. He's stirring up Russia. All right, against this place. So now it says here, even all the chief ones of the earth, not just Russia, but even all the nations are being stirred up against America. So instead of helping it, they're going to help it to be destroyed. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations, man. They all coming together. Look at those Middle East countries that have come together to go against Israel and America these past few days. Look at the BRICS nations. Look at the Axis nations that's over there in the Middle East. And the OPEC nations that's coming together. All right. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? All right, they're not gonna help it. They're gonna look at this place fall and say, look at it becoming weak. Thy pomp, or thy riches, or thy wealth, or thy pride, what makes this place prideful, right? Or the glory, if you picture a king like Nebuchadnezzar or somebody, right? But today it would be the king of Babylon, America. This place, the pride of this place is being brought down. Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy viols. All right, the scriptures say the mirth of the land is gone, and all the music, all their boasting, and what the politicians are speaking, you know, put America first and all that, build back better, all these different terminologies, their democracy, their philosophies, their entertainment. So it says thy pomp is brought down to the grave. So all their music and their riches and wealth is going to be with them in the grave. What does that mean? Everything is going to happen as a thief in the night. So that means people are going to be marrying and giving in marriage when the destruction comes. There's going to be a false sense of security here. This place is going to be in a downfall state, but they're going to make it like a frog in a pot. You turn the heat up on a frog, they won't even notice it until they're boiled. All right? So they're going to think themselves in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon the earth. And at the last minute, the curtain's just going to be pulled, and people are going to see that they're in the midst of destruction. So that pomp is going to be destroyed with it. Whew. And the noise of thy vowels also, man. So, you know, so America in its power, in its wealth, their military, their might, their entertainers, their celebrities, their politicians, all is going to be destroyed together. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. All right. So you picture a rich king being covered in cloth of fine gold, laying on a couch that's made of goose down, you know, a perfect royal couch made for it. It said it was decked with silver and gold and given purple and scarlet and costly array. But all of that's going to be destroyed with it, man. All right, the dollar as well, their military, their might. So the Lord gonna keep it just as it is, but He's gonna make the Lord made all the other nations stronger than this place. He ain't take away the power of this place. The Most High just not adding to it. So America's still gonna have their nukes and their missiles, but Russia and these other nations' nukes and missiles and technology is gonna be stronger and more advanced than this place, America. Right now, they cannot defend America. This place, Babylon, could not defend itself against Russian missiles, ICBMs. That's a fact. All right, so that pomp is brought down to the grave. So the riches and wealth and pride is going to be in the grave with it. And the noise of thy vows is going to be in the grave too. And the worm is spread under thee. Instead of a nice plush royal couch, it's going to be worms. All right. And the worms cover thee. So that means what? Destruction from within and destruction from without. So instead of covering itself with a nice lace silk blanket is going to be blanketed with destruction or decay or worms, like something that's in the grave. All right, so you picture a rich king in all his royal attire being laid in the grave and eating the worms. That's this place, America. It's being destroyed, but people waiting to notice it. They can't see it. But this place is in the grave. All right, being brought down to hell. Say that. There you go. Let me get that. That's right, because some say this is talking about Esau, which it is, but it's also talking about America. Isaiah 14:12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? See, the light of the Chaldees. In ancient Babylon, used to be Babylon, and now America's that light of the Chaldees. All right, and that word Lucifer just means light bearer. So that's Esau, but the ones that established America. So America is that beacon of light for these Edomites. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? See, this is their heaven, and they're going to fall from their rulership. Son of the morning, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? So they used America to weaken the nations. All right. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. So they exalted their throne above the children of Israel and put us in slavery over here in America. The Edomites did. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation. So they want to sit over us and rule over us. That word congregation goes into the word gods. So they wanted to rule over the heavenly council. And they did that by setting out for war against us, setting up this place, America, for what? For slavery. They called it the New World. And they wanted to establish a new economic system here built upon slaves. And the slaves they wanted were the children of Israel. For thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. So, all right, so they wanted to establish a place over here called Shinar where they can have us in slavery. All right. That sums that scripture up. And I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, and I will be like the Most High. See, that was their plan. To be like the Most High and rule the world. Yet thou shalt be what? Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. So from America all the way to Europe, they're going to be put into slavery. They're going to be destroyed. Not only America, but those European Edomites that are in that land, that are in Europe today. They're going into slavery. But America is going to be destroyed, according to scriptures. according to prophecy. So this place is being brought down into a hellish condition, into the grave. All right, so nobody's going to help this place. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right, they talking about America, or really the Edomites, of course. But what establishment did they set up to not open the house of their prisoners over there in Europe and America? All right. And the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch. See, that's twofold. You can see it. America's being cast out like an abominable branch, and the other nations are sitting in their glory, right? Advancing while America's failing. It's going to be the same way in the kingdom for Esau. They're going to be cast out like an abominable branch, bloodline. And the rest of the nation is going to get a slight form of living after 1,000 years. All right, but thou art cast out like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with the sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden underfoot. So you picture a person that was killed and thrown into the grave with all his royalty or clothing on, and got holes all in the garments, and with blood from being stabbed up. That's this place, man. So all the riches and wealth and fine gold and garments, royal garments, attire, is in the grave with this place, with Esau. All right, and meaning hell. Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city, right? It is full of lies and robbery, and the prey departeth not. The prey represents Israel, us being over here in slavery, them trying to establish a place to hold us in slavery at and to make money off of us for profit. And they still ain't let us go, like the Pharaoh let our people go. You know, like Moses said, let my people go. So the prey departeth not, man. We're the prey. And Esau is that lion seeking whom they may devour. And the place of the lion's den where they seek to devour us at is this place, America. The noise of a whip and the noise of the rattling of the wheels and of the prancing horses and of the jumping chariots. The horseman lifteth up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain and a great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. And they stumble upon their corpses, man. There's gonna be so much death here in this place. All the partying and bullshitting and slavery that we used to be in, with the overseers, you know, they had a dream for this place, the American dream, and then that turned into what? Your average day corporations, and the same different form of the same slave system, just transformed into taxes and sweat equity, taxation. All right. So they stumble upon their courses. There's gonna be that many dead bodies out here, and it's gonna be chaos. People are going to be stumbling all over the dead bodies. Nobody's going to be able to help within, and nobody's going to be able to help without. The police not going to help, the fire department, the medical department, they're not going to show up to pick up the bodies and to help families. They're not going to be able to do it, you know. Look at Palestine. A lot of people trying to send aid over there and help. But it's not going to be that way for this place. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot. That's this place. It was well-favored before. Now it's going to be hated. Now these nations hate this place. The mistress of witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, through her business, and families through her witchcrafts, through her deceptions, through her dollar as well. All right. Behold, I am against thee, saith Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. All right, showing the nations, America's dirty work, showing the nations America's lies and deceptions with their policies and treaties that they were breaking, showing the nations the deception of the weak dollar that they're using to sanction these nations with, showing the nations the weakness of America through debt. All right, so all the shame of this place, man. And I will cast abominable filth upon thee. So now they're looking at this place, what? And make thee vile, and will set thee as a gazing stock. They're gonna see all the murderous ways, and satanic ways of this place, man. That's what they call America, Satan, Big Satan, and they called those Israelis, they call them Little Satan. So this place is being made a gazing stock, and if it's a gazing stock in a room full of people, that means there's a circle around this place, and America's in the middle, and all eyes are on America. So they're being set in array against this place. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. See, instead of helping, they all gonna flee from this place, and they're gonna go seek help from these other countries like Russia and China, and even Europe. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for her? See that? Nobody's gonna be able to comfort this place. Who will bemoan her? Where you gonna look on the earth to find somebody that can help stop the collapse from happening, stop the dollar from failing? Who gonna help the chaos here in America that's gonna happen? Who gonna stop the plagues and the death and the killing, the slaughtering, and the who gonna pay off Russia and China and stop them from destroying this place? Nobody's going to comfort this place, because the Lord has it out for Esau and this place Babylon to be destroyed. So it's going to happen. All right. Nineveh is laid waste, and who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for her? Art thou better than populous No? All right. And I think populous No was that Memphis? Let me see. All right, yeah, so that was Thebes. Okay, not Memphis, it was Thebes. So another word for No Amen or populous No would be the land of Thebes in Egypt. So it was talking to Nineveh, parabolically saying, are you better than Egypt? Look what I did to Egypt. I used Egypt to go up against Israel, and then later the Most High destroyed Egypt. Destroyed it with plagues, but the government of Egypt, they got ran out of there in 664 BC with Taharqua in the battle against the Assyrians, which they lost. All right, they lost to Nineveh, and then later on Nineveh fell in 612 BC. Oh, you don't think it's possible? Well, the Lord used America to rule over all these nations. Babylon has been the golden cup in the Lord's hand. With it, he's made all the nations drunken. Even enslaved us, used this place for punishment on us. But ultimately, this place is set up to be destroyed. See that? No better than us. What happened with us? All right, are you better than populous? No. Meaning what? Are you better than Thebes, which is situated among the rivers? All right, and the rivers represent the Nile River. All right, and I think the Tigris, the Nile, which were a defense for this place. All right, a lot of resources came through there as well. That was situated among the rivers that had the waters round about it. See, just like America has waters on every side of it, meaning shipping ports. It can be used as a defense, meaning it takes countries would be noticed if they tried to approach it through the waters, and it created distance between other nations. All right, that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea. Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength. All right, so Ethiopia and Egypt, these were all the allies of Thebes. All right. The other parts of Egypt, they were allies and support, just like NATO and those European nations are the backbone and support of America. Ethiopia, Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Luban, meaning Lydia, not Lydia, what are they called today, man? Gaddafi and I can't remember what his nation is, man. But anyway, I'll move on. But the nation that Gaddafi is from, that's what, the one that got killed. I can't think of it. It's not even worth looking up. But Put and Luban were thy helpers. All right. Yet, so even though it had all this financial backing and help and resources and military might and influence in the world, Egypt did. It says, yet was she carried away, she went into captivity. Her young also were dashed in pieces at the top of all the streets, and they cast lots for her honorable men, and all her great men were bound in chains. And that happened in 664 BC to Egypt under the battle against Nineveh. All right, so the Lord used Nineveh to conquer Egypt or Syria, and now the Lord was going to use these other nations to conquer Nineveh. Right, the Lord used what you would call the Chaldeans, which was it was established by another Assyrian, but anyway, they went up against Nineveh and destroyed it in 612 BC. All right. Thou also shalt be drunken, thou shalt be hid, thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. So America is seeking strength today because of its enemies as well. Same way. So all right, so these scriptures fit any nation that's risen up in the pride and riches and wealth and dominance and wickedness. All right, so the higher they up, the farther they have to fall down, the bigger the fall. So they're going to seek strength, and that's what America's doing. They're seeking power in the world. They're seeking strength. They're seeking protection. And all thy strongholds shall be like fig trees with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, so all thy military bases in the world, if they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. I mean, they losing their power in the world. Look at what's happened. They said a lot of American bases are being attacked over there in the Middle East now because of the situation in Palestine. All right, look at their bases over there near the Ukraine. So they're all going to fail according to prophecy. All right. Where was I at? So yeah, they're going to seek strength. They're going to seek help, and they're not going to get it. All right. So let me get to the point. This is Revelation 18:4. I heard a voice, and I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues," man. And that's physical. That's literally going to happen. The Lord is going to say, what? Come up hither, come out of her, that ye be not partakers of the destruction of this place. All right. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and Yahweh hath remembered her iniquities. This is why they're not going to be able to stop it, because the Most High's judgment upon this place. Reward her even as she has rewarded you, double unto her according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, meaning a whore, a ruler, and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. So this place, the rulers of this place, the government, these elites over here, they believe they're not going to see any destruction. They believe they're already going to have help from NATO, like they did during September 11th. You know? And it's not going to happen. They believe with the banking system, they're going to get another QE to infinity, and, you know, but it's not going to happen. At some point, it's going to stop. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh, the power who judgeth her. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning. So they ain't gonna be able to do anything about it. They're gonna be scared and worried that the same destruction is gonna fall upon them, like Israel, Japan, you know, whatever allies are still left with America, South America as well. Standing afar off for the fear of her torment. So they're gonna be staying away, like, I ain't want no parts of that. Saying, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, meaning it finally happened. Wow, you know. That great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. So nobody gonna be able to buy these nations' merchandise, and nobody gonna be able to buy merchandise from America. The business gonna stop. So, all right, so no more support. Who gonna send support? Who gonna send aid? Who gonna send resources? They're not gonna be able to. This is Jeremiah 50:9. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations, man, and it's happening from the north country. All right, Russia's plan on coming in through the north, and and the beast system really represents Canada, America, NATO, and the EU. For lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country, and they shall set themselves in array against her, man. So it's a siege happening. All right, they setting themselves together, and they setting themselves against America. From thence shall she be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. And Chaldea shall be a spoil. So today America represents Chaldea. All that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith Yahweh. So nobody's going to help or stop what's coming. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of my heritage, right? So they were destroying us here in this place, man, wearing out the saints. And this place was prideful and boasting. All right, America, America, God shed His grace on thee from something. Right? They proud as hell, man. There was a time where you couldn't even put the flag on the ground. Remember that? That shit couldn't even touch the ground. Now you got people burning it up all over the world. You know? So, because you were glad and because you rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifers at grass and bellows as the bulls. All right, so this place has grown fat and rich off of our people's wickedness and enslavement, pork, adultery through entertainment, right? Slutting out our women, thugging out our men, you know, putting them incarcerating them, even murdering them, killing them. Drugs. All right, so many systems that have helped to build up this place and create what you would call an economy, a system of rich and poor. All right. Your mother shall be sore confounded. So England, that's what helped to establish America with the banking system, the Bank of England. All right, the World Bank, the Federal Reserve, the court systems, the postage stamp system, which comes from the courts, which goes back to England, the IRS, which goes back to England. All right, the dollar, which goes back to England. So what helped to establish this place? Europe, Britain, England. All right, so the British Isles, you want to call it that? Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert. Because of the wrath of Yahweh, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and hiss at all her plagues. So they ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Look, let's say hiss, look at that. All right, so it says all the nations shall hiss at her plagues, man. Meaning they're gonna be mocking this place. Say, yeah, that's what you get. Okay, to hiss at it means to whistle or hiss as a call or in scorning it, saying that's what you get, Babylon. See that? So people gonna know it, that this is Babylon. All right. So that word, it says properly to be shrill, SHRILL. So that means to be shrill means to what? To give a signal. It says full of or characterized by such a sound, shrill music, betraying some strong emotion or attitude in an aggravated amount, as antagonizing or defensiveness, man. There's gonna be places like Russia and China. They're gonna be looking at America like, yeah, got you. And they're gonna see the downfall of this place. All right, so verse 14, put yourselves in array against Babylon round about, right? It's the power of Yahweh that's stirring up these nations and bringing them together, taking away any type of help this place can get. It's our power that's doing that, Yahweh. Put yourselves in array against Babylon round about. And they're doing that with the BRICS nations. All ye that bend the bow, shoot at her. So all the ones that have nukes, they're going to shoot all their missiles according to Revelation 9. It's going to be 200 million missiles or warheads that's going to hit this place. Spare no arrows, for she have sinned against Yahweh. Shout against her round about. See that? They're shouting, meaning mocking this place, shouting of war, taunting it. She have given her hand, her foundations are fallen. What's that? Her foundations are covered in worms, it's fallen, as we read earlier. The worm is spread under thee, her foundations or her couch, and her walls are thrown down. So what covers this place has worm is decaying as well. That's something. It says the worm is spread over thee, and the worm is spread under thee. For it is the vengeance of Yahweh, take vengeance upon her, as she have done, do unto her. It says, cut off the sower from Babylon. So see, and him that handleth the sickle in the time of harvest. For the fear of the oppressing sword, they shall turn every one to his people, and they shall flee every one to his own land, man. They didn't help this place. So there's not going to be any investors, any corporations here anymore. They're going to flee from this place because it's going to be a domain of war. Revelation 17 and 15. And he saith unto me, the waters which thou sawest are like a pool, where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. And the 10 horns over there in Europe, in NATO, European Union, which thou sawest upon the beast, meaning that rule this place, these shall hate the whore. See that? They're going to be, they want to be done with this place now. They're showing their hatred towards it. All right? Everything we see happening to this place is all planned by the elites. And shall make her desolate. So ultimately, they're helping to make this place desolate and stripping it of everything that was given it to it. Where it says what? A woman that was arrayed in purple and scarlet and color, decked with gold and silver and precious stones and golden cup in her hand. All the protection of these nations, right? All the wealth. So it says, these 10 horns shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked. Stripping this place, man. And shall eat her flesh, man. That goes into the culture of this place. It's being eaten up and devoured. All right, this place is being consumed. That's what that means. And they shall burn her with fire. So Europe is going to have a part in seeing this place destroyed, what you call the Illuminati. They usually play both sides of the war. For Yahweh hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of Yahweh shall be fulfilled. So they're taking the kingdom back. They gave it to America so it can operate as a front for them over there while they operate in secret. And now they're ready to come out to the forefront. They're trying to get rid of America. And they want to bring their satanic and beast system, and they want to rule the world with that. You know, and rule the whole world and do away with America's power in the earth. All right, so, and the woman which thou sawest is that great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth, meaning she reigneth as a king over the earth. All right, I'm going to end it with this. Jeremiah 51 and 6, flee out of the midst of Babylon. So we're fleeing out of the midst of this place, man. You know, spiritually. So we can be freed as a bird from the snare of the fowler. And deliver every man his soul, and be not cut off in her iniquity. For this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. All right, so this place is being cut off. And he will render upon her, unto her, a recompense. All right, so now is the time where the Lord's word is being fulfilled, as we just read in Revelation 17. Now it's time for the Lord's vengeance. So these nations are pulling back their power away from this place that the Lord put in their hearts to give unto this place until the words are fulfilled. All right. And he will render unto her a recompense. Babylon have been a golden cup unto Yahweh in Yahweh's hand, that made all the earth drunken, and the nations have drunken of her wine. Therefore the nations are mad, meaning they were boasting before, They were mad, meaning lost their damn mind. They were proud of the dollar. They were boasting of America's, allegiance. China was following behind America, copying off of it like a bigger brother. All right. So now those nations are waking up, and that's why the Lord said He's going to show these nations America's shame, because they didn't see it at first. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so, she may be healed. All right, balm is a healing agent or ointment. So the balm that they were using were the PPP, what do you call this? QE2, QE1, QE3, QE4, QE to infinity, quantitative easing, meaning printing more dollars, which is causing hyperinflation, raising and lowering the interest rates, controlling the stock market, scaring off long-term investors, which ultimately destroys the NASDAQ, and the messing up the OPEC deals. So everything's being called off that would funnel life into this place. All of it's being choked off. All right, so Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. See, so they helping this place to fall, and then ultimately Europe. The Lord going to use Europe and these other nations to destroy it. It says, howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. And it says, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. This place ain't been healed, man. The wounds that the Lord is afflicting on this place, they cannot be healed up. Forsake her. See, they're forsaking this place. They're not going to help. It says, let us go every one into his own country. Look, and we see that happening. We're seeing these dominant cultural countries claim their strength. The weak are saying they're strong. They're claiming their sovereignty as a nation. All right, look at Venezuela. Look at Iran. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. All right, and they see that. The nation's going to see it like this is Babylon. The Russian president, Vladimir Putin, said he had a dream that the Most High was going to use him. And he's the bear, man. That's their symbol. All right, that was scripture say they all shall see it together. That this place is Babylon. The Lord going to draw upon this place the line of confusion. Because that was it right there. That was Babylon. Everything happened according to the scriptures. Make bright the arrows. It's like in verse 10. Yahweh have brought forth our righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh our power. So when we see these things happening on the earth, we're declaring it as prophecy to our people so they can repent and wake up and turn back to Yahweh. Make bright the arrows. Gather the shields. So what's that? They're preparing for war. Yahweh have raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. What's that? Russia. So he's stirring them up. For his device is against Babylon, to destroy it. So what's Russia's aim? To destroy America. Because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. Set up the standard. So why is it that Putin is against America? Because the Most High's will. Scriptures say he controls the hearts of kings and steers it as the rivers, man. So whithersoever he will. All right. Set up the standard upon the walls of Babylon. Make the watch strong. Set up the watchmen. Prepare the ambushes. All right, so that's both sides of the war. The Lord saying, yeah, let them prepare, but the Lord gonna also prepare the ambushes for this place. For Yahweh have both devised and done that which he spake against the inhabitants of Babylon. O thou that dwellest upon many waters, abundant in treasures, thy end is come, and the measure of thy covetousness, man, that greed. So anybody, any nation or person or country that lives in greed ultimately will be brought down to hell or to the grave or to a hellish hell type condition to where they will have no help. All right. But in this case, all the riches and wealth of this place is already in the grave. It's destroyed, man. It's done for. And it's going to be missile food. So let's read it again. The sign that this guy has in his hand, it says, this is the USA. So it should say, this is Babylon. There is no one coming to our rescue if things go sideways. No one will be resupplying us. No one will airdrop food or ammunition or medicine. There is no place to escape. There's no place to escape to for freedom. This is it.